Wagwan, me
What up? What
people.
up? What up?
Wagwan, me people. 19 days in, can we still say Happy New Year? I think we can. Yeah.
Yeah. It's valid until February.
It's
Ah
right
man,
until Feb. Happy New Year to the people, then. It's good to
Last
see
pod
you
was
all.
in
Happy New Year.
2025.
Wallah, bro. First of 2026,
Been
boys,
starving
how
the
we feeling?
streets.
How we feeling?
Feeling good. You know me, my Christmas tree
Oh,
is still out.
the
So
longest started. Around Valentine's, that's when you start taking
if
it
you
out.
ask me, still in the festive
Keep it
period.
there,
I'm
man.
still on
So
holiday.
Until
holiday.
Easter.
I'm
Until
saying
Easter.
Until
Easter is
Easter.
still coming as well.
Right now.
Easter is always, you need some decorations for Easter as well.
Truly, truly, truly. So after Easter, maybe beginning of summer, you take it down.
you
Yeah.
Exactly.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That makes
beginning of
sense.
summer when Arsenal lift the
Mm-hmm.
trophy, maybe. But we'll get into that. We'll get
Yeah.
into that. We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
You
Guys,
already
welcome
know.
back.
You already know.
Podcast this shit. We're back in it, bro. We're back in it. And naturally, I feel like we should start with where home is. AFCON concluded yesterday as of this recording. Shit was crazy.
Yeah,
Shit
yeah,
was
yeah.
entertaining.
Madness.
Hey,
As it is, boys. What do you guys think about
Madness.
AFCON? The final, the whole tournament? What do you guys think about that
Damn.
shit?
AFCON's been good. Honestly, let me be honest, I've had the worst, this is my worst AFCON experience just because I'm in like Pacific time.
Yeah,
So for me, the games are during like work hours, man. I hate that shit.
exactly, bro. Same for
I'm
all of us,
always
actually.
there.
For all of us.
Yeah. I'm always there, like sneaking in a game here and there trying to watch, but I feel like I've not really gotten the full AFCON experience.
Yeah.
But it's had some amazing moments. It's had some really crazy moments. I mean, we got Dr. Lumumba in AFCON. Yeah,
We go Captain Lumumba.
we got Captain Lumumba in AFCON.
Yeah,
Yo, we got some crazy goals, bro. Some crazy, crazy football. Some
truly.
amazing stuff. So it's been great for the snippets that I've seen, but
Hmm.
fantastic final as well. Like ended, I think football gods were on Senegal side
Oh
that
no,
night.
it's the script writers, they knew what they were doing. Yeah.
There was some
Hmm.
plot lines that were against them, but the football gods prevailed.
Oh no, they prevailed. They prevailed. They prevailed.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think?
I don't know, Isaac, what you think, bro?
yeah. Well, me, I work from home, so so I do get to watch some
Must be
of the
fucking
games here
nice,
and
bro.
there.
Must be nice for you guys.
Fucking nice.
So yeah, I was able to watch some. I mean, it was sad as a Ghanaian. I
Mm.
didn't get to see my country in there. You
Mm-hmm,
know,
mm-hmm.
so that was a little bit sad. Especially being
You're
that
just
we are one
rooting
of the
against Nigeria.
Charlie,
Truly.
especially since we are one of the footballing nations in Africa, if you would call it. So it was a little bit sad not to see our country in there. And what I would say is the AFCON, to be fair, it started a little bit slow. I
Mm-hmm,
feel
mm-hmm.
like AFCON is just one of those things where I just feel like, we're suffering massively from the timing, the placement in the calendar,
Honestly.
right? Because, bro, you know, it
Right,
plays at a time where, I still want to wake up on a Saturday to watch Manchester
Hmm.
United. But
right.
11 a.m., there was a game. Like, there was a final this Saturday,
Literally.
just after we watched the United game. So it's like, people are having to choose between their clubs and their countries. And it's
Yeah.
like, it's a tournament that is hurting from that. You could even see, at the beginning, stadium attendance wasn't really like, as it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? So I think that's something that going forward they could work on. But
Mm-hmm.
in terms of the games themselves, like this is one of the best in terms of quality of football I've seen in a while. I was pleasantly surprised by the quality of football I was seeing some teams
Hmm.
play. Like Morocco was like you. I watched Morocco and I was like, okay, this is why they made a semifinal of
Hmm.
the World Cup last time out,
Yeah,
right? Because I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah, that
like the
mm-hmm.
quality of the play, like these are teams that can actually play football,
Hmm.
right? Nigeria was one of the best attacking teams I saw in the tournament. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it was amazing the way they play. I mean, Senegal is always Senegal, man. That team is like
African
proper,
giants.
like back to front, they
No,
are
no, them
proper,
boys can
Yeah,
play
right?
ball,
man.
So
bro.
they can
Yo,
play ball. So that's one thing that surprised me. I'm like, wow, there's actually. No, I'm not talking like physicality or whatever. I'm talking like
Mhm.
technique, like
mad
quality
quality
of
ball,
play.
bro.
For real,
Yes,
bro.
yes,
Exactly. It
yes,
was,
yes,
it was
yes.
amazing to see, and so it was good. It
Mm.
was a good tournament overall. Unlike Jesse, I'm not a fan of how that final ended at all. I don't believe football won or football got won at
Really?
all. We'll get into that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. I don't at all,
Okay.
man. We'll get into that.
So
Interesting.
before we get into
Yeah.
that, I just
Yeah.
want to say I'm
Yeah.
so happy I got to see my Ugandan boys play. Shout out to the Uganda Cranes. we got
Uh-huh.
Malta.
Played in Ghana, didn't
Chale,
play.
we got beat badly, bro. But it's
You
cool.
got destroyed.
We got destroyed so
Yo.
badly. But it's calm. I got to see my
Mm-mm.
boys play. That was nice. Man, like Jesse, dude, I working in the office, when games are playing it's tough, man. You got that live
Tough.
score or score 90, whatever football app you have, popping notifications.
Just refreshing. Just
Truly,
refreshing there.
as we're in the office doing this. So it's crazy work. But I like the
Bruh.
tournament, I can't lie. African football has always provided entertainment where it could be dramatic, it could also be chaotic, but it's
Mm-hmm.
always entertainment. Which is why I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the ending of yesterday's final was a bit, it was a bit interesting. I kind of liked it. I can't lie. From an entertainment point of view, I was like, where else are you gonna see this? And here's the funny part, right? Because of the timing and everything you said, right? I wasn't able to follow the game all the way through, so I was watching it in bits. So then I scroll up on
Mm-hmm.
my notification app. I see 90 minutes plus 24. I'm like, bro, what? How they added on
What is
24?
going on?
I'm so confused. I'm like, this is
These
African
guys were like in the they were like in the 113th minute or something.
broski.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
it
where
was.
else are you gonna see this, bro? And then I caught up with all the penalty drama, but I was like, you tell us why you didn't like that. Like, why didn't you
Mm.
mess with
I'm
that?
curious as well.
Yeah.
I'm very curious.
For me, it's simple. All of us that we watch football, right? We watch football and we know that things go wrong when it comes to
Yeah.
decisions, right? It happens. Referees make mistakes, VAR makes
Mhm.
mistakes. Like it's part of the game, right? We can debate it all we want. There have been times where we've all felt like, man, these referees are against us. Where we felt like, you know, I don't know, Real Madrid are cheating in the La Liga. Where like it is part of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that you never see is the team that is feeling aggrieved saying that we're done, we're gonna pack our things and leave the pitch. I mean, I'm sorry. For me, if you do that, that is it. You should lose the game. Simple as that. Right?
Mm.
That is unprofessional to the highest level for
Mhm.
me. Do you
Really.
understand what I'm saying? Like you should. My point is, do you know what's even
Mhm.
annoying to me? It's not like the referee actually got a wrong call on the second one. It was a penalty. Like the penalty was a penalty, right? But now to make the debate about okay, well, the other one was like he wasn't supposed to call the other one, right? Because I mean, it wasn't a push on Hakimi, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so because of that, he like that's not how football works. We all know this, right? Sometimes referee makes the first one against your team, and you're like, man, he didn't call this one, but he should have called. Nah, that doesn't. It's like okay, what if the second one someone just elbowed someone in the face and the person is bleeding? So the referee should say, oh, because the other one I should have called it, I shouldn't call this one. It doesn't work like that. I'm sorry, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to make that decision for your own coach to tell your players that they should leave the pitch just because a decision is going against them. For me, it's sad. I didn't want to see. Immediately I saw that I tweeted, man, seriously? And it wasn't a good look for me for African football. I wasn't happy seeing that out. I was like, seriously, they're just gonna. I'm like, but then I was also like, yeah, this is something we would do, man. Honestly.
Nah, 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 nah. I
So for
completely
me,
disagree.
it was a bit like, nah, man, I don't want to see
I
this, bro.
completely disagree,
Let,
bro.
let, let me hear your point of view, Jesse.
Nah,
But
nah,
that
nah,
was the
nah, nah.
part. So
Uh-huh.
from that part on, everything that happened, me,
Mm.
I don't
I
really
see,
care.
I
If
see.
he missed the
Jesse,
pen,
what are you
Senegal
No.
saying?
went. Yeah,
Me personally, I think we are all doing a professional sport. The referees are also professionals. I feel like we give the referees so much freedom to make these mistakes. And we always like be like, it happens. We know we've come to accept this as a standard part of the norm, but they're also professionals. These are not some guys off the streets who are picking into referee a match on a Sunday league night. This is one of the biggest, this is the biggest African stage
Hmm.
that you're on and you're making mistakes at such a high level, you need to have some checks and balances in place. And I feel like this has not been the case in any league, not only the Africa Cup of Nations, even in the Premier League. We got no penalties whatsoever for referees when they make these mistakes. We're just expected to take it. And sometimes people are just like, the players are always supposed to be perfect. Oh, you saw what happened with Martinelli the other day and Liverpool when he pushed him off the field.
Yeah, yeah.
Outrage. You see what happens when I don't know, Bellingham tries and does some maybe
yeah,
crazy
yeah, yeah.
or Vinicius, right? Complete outrage. The
Mm-hmm.
players are expected to be perfect, make no mistakes, but the referees are allowed so much room, and they're not professionals as well. They are also professionals. So I feel like yes, the players were angry. How many times are we gonna come and get defrauded on a platform like this at the highest level. They have a right to also feel some type of way. And I think that reaction, once the rules have been gone off script, okay, you can talk to me about, yes, that was arguably a penalty. I could walk with you on that, but it was not like it was not the easiest way to get to that decision, right? And given that the record of what he was doing for the rest of the game earlier on, he was making dumb decisions. It was a build-up. So it's like, at what point are you supposed to be held accountable, or the players also leave the pitch? Because it's like, are you gonna say the same thing if a referee is racist? Don't leave the pitch. We've seen cases where a referee is racist and people step off the pitch. I think it had happened before in Europe. So I think they should also be held accountable, and it should be not as like a clean cut. Oh, you walk off the pitch, nah, it's no longer about football. Football is all encompassing and it has all of those parts, and I think we should be very
Yeah.
much aware that we're humans, you know?
Yeah. No, and I take those points, right? Like, I also want to make it clear. I don't have a problem with them feeling the. What I'm even saying is, like, football fans, we feel like that all the time. You have the right to feel like that, right?
Hmm.
But there's a reason why they are the professionals, right? Being paid the millions and millions to stay on the pitch, have the
The
mentality, the
refs are
emotion.
professionals as well.
I agree. I agree. I mean,
Hmm.
I understand that the refs should also be held to a higher standard, right? But let's think of it also on the flip side, the other way, right? This sets a precedent. So any team that feels like they are being aggrieved right now can just say, okay, we're going to walk off the pitch just because we feel like we should hold the refs to a higher standard. Like, we can't turn the game into that. Like, me,
Nah,
that's
it's
my
not
point.
setting a
My
precedent.
point
It's
is,
taking a
like,
stand. Because
no,
the
I
officials
understand
that
that.
are in charge of holding the referees accountable are not doing shit. So how do you continue to trust a system that's not doing anything? You walk off. You have to do something. You control the
You
game.
stand up
Like,
for it,
how
right?
are you playing a game that's rigged, bro? How are you just gonna continue to play a game that's rigged
But
and
also,
call it
that's
like,
also
oh,
my
I'm
thing.
doing it for the love of the game?
We make it,
Like
it was a
how?
pen. That's my thing. It was a
That's
penalty.
just
Like,
one. Like, you can't look at the isolated incident. You have to have context. It's not just that.
no, and
Look at the
again, like I'm
context.
saying,
Hmm.
I understand that, right? But my point of view is, we're making it sound like, okay, these Senegalese people, the reason why they walked off the pitch it was because they knew that penalty was the last kick of the game, and they knew that that was their only chance. That's it. And it was because they scored a goal at the other end that wasn't given to them.
Hmm.
It wasn't because all of a sudden they sat down and thought, this whole tournament, these referees have been a little bit biased.
No,
We
they're
should take
not
a
thinking
stand.
of that. They're in the moment. They're thinking this referee is
It's in the
violating
moment.
us. It's
Exactly.
not about the history. It's about this moment is leveled upon 10 different games from 10 different referees doing the same shit to other teams. And these guys are like, fuck, here we are again. This ref is cooking us. We're done. There's a lot of context to it. People don't just walk off
No,
the
I
pitch,
understand that.
Mhm.
you know? It's
I
not,
understand that
you're saying like
context,
it's gonna
like,
happen, like everybody can just like, no, people still play ball. I feel like I trust these guys, the Senegalese players, actually love football. They don't want to walk off the pitch. It's not in their
but
interest
they
to
did.
walk off the pitch. Yeah. So, it's like you have to understand the mindset of somebody who's done to the point they walk off the pitch, especially of that caliber, because they love the game at the end of the day. Nobody wants to be
No,
the person who walks off the pitch. So it must
I
mean that,
understand.
it's not it's not a reaction. It's like a boiling point. I don't
Which
know.
I
Jojo, what do
understand,
you
right?
think? Jojo, what are you saying?
I
Jojo, you've been
understand.
quiet. Let's
Again,
hear Jojo.
me,
Let's hear
I'm
Jojo.
still
Let's
like,
hear
No,
Jojo.
me,
I
I'm
mean,
still like,
I
nah,
hate to be
man,
this
you don't
guy,
do
but
that.
I kind of agree with you both. Right? Me personally, I feel like that was the only justifiable reaction given where they were in the game at that point in time. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I can see why it happened. It didn't happen outside of a vacuum. Because it hasn't happened in other games before, especially with the Senegalese team. Right? So you can see how it happened. I agree with that. And personally,
Hmm.
I feel like if I was part of the Senegalese team, right, sure, I can pretend and say I'd want to be level headed, but I think I'd be down the tunnel too. I'd be like, nah, fuck it, man. We ball. But it was
Yeah,
nice for
man.
Mane to come through, right, and call his boys back. But I also see Isaac's point, especially if you look at how African football is viewed as a whole, right? The problem is
Yeah.
that African football, albeit important within the realms of international football, is still looked down upon. And that incident doesn't help us. It really doesn't, right? Isaac talked about how
Yeah,
the
people will
stadium was
just be
done.
picking this
You feel what
apart,
I'm saying? So
looking at this like,
it doesn't help.
man,
It helps within the confines of the
doesn't,
match,
it
but I
doesn't.
think, you know, in the greater scheme of things, it might influence how people view African football. And last time, Isaac, we had
Hmm.
this debate when Jimmy Carragher was talking about Salah and we were talking about
Yeah.
where African football is. and I remember we were arguing that African football needs to step up. Like, so we can argue that sure people should respect it, but there's things we can do to step up. That was your argument. So I feel like this kind of goes against that, right? This really will be looked at in an African Cup of Nations final. How does a team storm off the pitch, bro? How do they not take losing respectfully? That's just the reality of
Yeah,
things. I agree, football is football, but that's
no,
just the reality of things.
just my thing. Like,
You-
yeah, and again, like I'm
Yeah.
saying, it's not even an indictment on their emotion. Like again, I'm a fan, right? Like we as fan, Jojo, we watch TV all the time where we're like, man, what is this
Yeah,
referee doing? Like, bro, we do that all the time. And I agree with Jojo. I agree with Jesse. Like these referees should be held to a higher standard, right? Even in the Premier League, there are cases where if a referee gives a very bad decision, at the end of the game, it is reviewed. Clubs are able to appeal, and sometimes some of these referees even get fines. We've seen that happen before. We've seen
But
referees
the points are
suspended before,
gone.
demoted, demoted to like
I mean,
another league. No, so what I'm saying is, we're able to like. This is something that maybe that's what needs reviewing. Maybe that's like we can make that same point, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, we need to remember this is a team playing against another team, right? How about you show respect for the other team too? You get what
I
I'm
get
saying?
what
It's
you're
like,
saying, but it's like I feel like you're treating the symptom and not the disease when you do that.
so
Like the symptom, this is a reaction. This
yeah,
is not again, like I said, it's not happening in a vacuum.
okay, fair enough.
And my point is, okay, you pass along and
do you
don't do
genuinely
that.
believe them walking off the pitch is gonna solve the problem going forward? That's what I'm saying. It
I think
doesn't.
it surfaces the problem. It doesn't like it starts the conversation of
Mhm.
like, okay, why did we actually get to the point where our team is walking off the pitch in an AFCON Cup final? What in our system can we improve so that this doesn't happen again? That's I feel like the questions we should be trying to find answers for. Not saying that teams should like be perfect. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we see these things, and again, I get your point on how African football is viewed in general, but I feel like we see similar incidents happen in other leagues, but because the mindset of their leagues are already good, it's just seen as an incident of passion, like somebody kicks somebody in the, we see incidences where not people walking off the pitch, but we've seen physical violence on the pitch
Yeah,
in
but they
different
get
leagues.
punished. Get a red card. It gets reviewed. You're banned for 3 games. That's my point. This one,
Hmm.
in this case, it's almost as if they were rewarded for doing that. That's my point. That's what I'm
I
saying.
also think
Hmm.
somehow that walking off the pitch thing is a little bit clouded by the fact that the penalty was missed and Senegal ended up winning, right? Because it makes matters completely worse if Brahim Diaz buries that penalty. Like at that point, Senegal is royally fucked, man. Like that penalty miss sort of took away from walking off the pitch.
Cushioned it.
You could really look
It cushioned
into
the.
the players. You could really look into finding the federation for that. You can make an argument for that, and that isn't good.
Yeah, I mean, the federation has already suspended the Senegalese coach because he literally asked his
Yeah.
players to walk off the pitch. All I'm saying is,
I mean, he can also
Jesse,
get punished. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have
exactly,
punishments. They can get some punishments, but I feel like that shouldn't be the end result. Just them getting fined. Also,
Oh,
exactly.
okay,
the
fair enough.
the
I
the
agree.
referee in that
I agree.
situation,
I agree with that.
right?
Mhm,
Though I
mhm.
also won't
Yeah,
disagree.
because
I was really entertained, bro. I was like, this is AFCON.
bro, it's pure AFCON though. This can only happen
It's
in
only
AFCON.
happening in AFCON. And, I guess shout out to the tournament.
Hey.
Lovely
Shout out
tournament.
to the tournament,
I'm
man.
happy Senegal.
It's gonna be in East Africa 2027.
Where exactly?
Fantastic stuff. It's gonna be in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. We're sharing the tournament.
Uganda.
Wow. Okay.
It's gonna be
Let's get our
I'm a
tickets
Uganda
ready.
wagwan. You guys have a stadium.
Oh my days. 2027.
You guys are gonna play in some field,
Oh, dude. Fuck. I mean,
some Sunday league field.
Sunday League field, Brisky, the field that I used to play on.
The field that every school, the national team rents every once a month go and train in that field.
Like, bro, like, that's just even a joke. Because we have maybe a stadium,
Hey.
but that's neither here nor there. AFCON was dope. We liked AFCON. I feel like, right, at least from what I've seen online within our inner circle,
Yeah.
majority of the folks were happy at the Senegal one, for some reasons more obvious than others,
Mhm.
right? I haven't seen too many people sad that Morocco lost. That could also be because of refereeing decisions, right? This shit was happening in previous games, but also, there's a whole
Mhm.
racial aspect to
There's
it.
a whole political side to
Yeah,
it,
we won't get into that.
for sure.
Yeah.
We'll just talk football. But if you're happy Senegal one, let
Yeah.
us know. If you're sad Senegal one, also let us know.